Welcome back to Modern Art Blitz. I'm your host, Matt Gleason. It's our 80th episode. My guest right now is an artist. He's not 80 years old, but some days he might even believe he is. Mike Street!
Hey,
I
thank
said
you,
that
Matt.
because you're one of the busiest guys in town.
I am.
And I see you everywhere.
I get around.
And you showing everywhere. My God,
I do
you've
pretty
shown in
good.
a lot of galleries, right?
Yes, I have.
A lot.
I have.
Are you sick of it?
You know what? It does get tiring. At the end, at the end of the night, I'm pooped.
So let me ask you now. When was your first show? When was the first time you showed your art?
The first time was at Gallery at the End of the World in Altadena.
Oh my God! I've actually been to a gallery at the End of the World,
which is now defunct.
It's defunct?
Well, I mean, what's his name? Ben. Anyway, he opened another gallery in Altadena later. So.
Oh, okay. So it's still kind of
yeah,
going?
It's still there.
Okay. So you've been showing for a few years.
Yeah, about 10.
And now, were you always an artist? Were you born an artist? Did you become?
I think I was born an artist, but I took a hiatus for about 25 years, 30 years.
Really?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What did you do when you were on your hiatus?
I was a visual merchandiser for the Pottery Barn for a quarter of a century.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. There's some karma in this one.
Yes, there is.
All right. So tell us what we're looking at.
You are looking at one of the first series that I ever did.
Really?
And
what year?
This was 2006, 2007.
Wow. So what's going on here?
This is, I brought these along to show the genesis of where my art interests are, and that was the illustrative drawings of John Tenniel and Gustave Doré. So this is the Forest of the Suicides, one of the things, and there's over 100 of these, and I've sold most of them. So
this is pretty intense, man. This is pretty intense.
Yeah.
That's like you're starting your career off on a pretty heavy theme there, yeah?
It's pretty heavy, but you know what? They're also somewhat, even though they're dark, they're somewhat delightful. In fact, that was one of the best compliments I ever got.
Dark but delightful.
Yeah. That was one of the best compliments I ever got, is some complete stranger came up to me and said, you know what, I see the delight that you get out of making your art. So that's pretty good.
Have you ever been, and I've talked to artists that this happens for, they get to a point in their career where it's more about they have to do a deadline and they're like, I don't take delight in this anymore. I'm just doing the work to get the work out, to get done with the deadline. Does that ever happen with you? Because I know you're very busy.
You know what, I keep things fresh because I work in series.
Ah.
So once I play one series out, I will move on to something else, or keep it open and go back to it a little bit later, but not, I mean, I never really get tired of making the art.
What are we looking at here?
This is Il Circo Marrone. So that's kind of a pretentious way of saying the brown circus. For a while I was pulling all the color out of my paintings.
You say brown, but it looks a little, I mean, I don't know if the drone box screen monitor here in the studio is accurately representing it, because it looks a little orange.
Well, it's actually burnt sienna.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is this oil?
Oil. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Always oil.
Now, do you cut with turpentine or with linseed oil?
I cut with turpentine.
Oh, really?
And then I started using liquid to help it dry.
Liquid? Oh, the liquid, yeah, you got to speed it up. You got to
yeah,
speed it up, because your stuff, 10 years, it'll still be wet.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's pretty thick paint. It's hard to tell on some of the images, but it's pretty thick.
So we're looking at, who's this guy?
That is my friend Paul Stiver.
Oh, wow.
Who passed away a couple years ago.
Did you make this while he was still with us?
I made this while he was still with us, and it was originally going to start off as a portrait of Degas because of the ballerina, the conjoined dancer, So, and I was going to switch it over to Degas, but he passed away while I was painting this painting, and it was looking like him. So it's kind of a weird
no, he's not Degas yet, so you can keep it Paul.
Right.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bit of an homage here, yeah?
There is, yeah.
What's up with the Macintosh computer, though?
That's Pandora's box, of course.
Oh, that's a very great metaphor for
Yes,
once
it
the
is.
internet was open. We can't put the genie back in the bottle now.
Well, you know, there, according to Edith Hamilton's mythology, the Pandora's box was confused with the Adam and Eve myth with the apple.
Oh.
You know, so the bite out of the apple goes to the biblical story.
Oh, an Apple computer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay, so you're working on a couple levels here.
Yeah.
And so is metaphor, is that your strong suit, do you think? I mean, obviously you've got the
You know,
dexterity.
concept. If the concept moves me, it keeps me going. You know, if it's entertaining to me, it's entertaining to finish.
And it usually, entertainment's a dicey word. I mean, there's an inspiration for the audience.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So again, and this is oil. How
Oil.
big is this piece? How big is this piece?
These are all of these are 24 by 36.
Okay, so you got the standard size.
That's a very standard medium size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just that's
Yeah.
it's convenient. You'll always remember how big it is.
Yes,
right?
I will.
So, cool. Well, let's go on because there's other art you brought with us.
Oh, yes.
Wow. No, I've written about this because
Yes,
to me,
you
this
have.
this was what I consider to be your conceptual breakthrough because you're mocking one of the great art forms that is totally unheralded relative to the 20th century at least, was the theater placard, you know?
Yeah, the lobby card.
The lobby card.
Yeah.
Tell us about the lobby card and your inspiration behind this series.
You know what? The lobby cards are something that you don't really see anymore because we don't have lobbies anymore, you know, in the theaters. So
the bygone era.
But when I was seeing movies as a kid, you know, these would be in the lobbies with some of the movie posters.
It was like the YouTube preview. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all you got. You either liked it or you didn't.
But these, what I do is, you know, I run around to art openings, including yours, and I go to, you know, we take pictures with friends and stuff, and I say, you know what, let's take 20 seconds and mug for the camera.
Because everybody, it's funny you say that, because everybody is mugging for the camera, but they're pretending that they're not mugging for the camera.
Right.
So you've actually asserted, this is a mugging, let's do it 100%.
Yeah. And so I say, you know, let's be, you know, serious or tough or romantic or, you know, whatever. And then I recontextualized a night out in the galleries to an Italian film, La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita, of course. Now, is that one of your favorite films?
It is.
It is?
It is.
I gotta confess something. Can I confess to you?
Go for it.
Fellini, kind of boring.
Really?
You know, I just think if I don't know if they were like 40 minutes shorter, they'd be, but
Bonehead. You know, it's such a
just
good movie.
You know, I'm you know.
Oh man.
Attention deficit. I don't know. But
I think
you love Fellini.
Well, this was a breakthrough movie. This was kind of the beginning of modern cinema.
It changed a lot of things.
It sure did.
You couldn't just stick with Munchkins and the Yellow Brick Road after La Dolce
Absolutely.
Vita.
But you'll recognize some of these people. There's Teal Hathaway, Tim Yude. Is that how you say his name? Tim
Yude, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's typing, doing
and
one of his typing
Gronk
performances. Yeah.
down there, and Ken Rosa.
Oh yeah,
one of my collectors.
Oh, big collector. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you, butter up the collectors.
Yeah.
That's a good way to include them in your thing. Yeah.
Hey, well, you know, we're all palsy wowsies, and so let's have fun.
It's a small art scene, and so you consider basically it's a metaphor of the La Dolce Vita, like we're in the art scene is like the
a
wild
little
and
bit
decadent.
Well, you know, and I'm not saying that. I'm having a so time out in the scene. Is what's happening.
Yeah, it's not a negative commentary by any stretch.
absolutely
No, I
not.
always thought it was a positive reflection of the community.
Yeah.
So no, do we have more Dolce Vita to see? Can we? What's going on here?
This is part of a painting series, and it's called Mount Olympus Below the Tree Line. And
okay.
And this is Medusa, but the series refers to the B players, the bit players in mythology. And
who are the B players? Like, okay, Medusa's the
Medusa,
bit player.
the Minotaur, Narcissus.
But they've all kind of, you know, 4,000 years later or whatever it is, they're kind of a little more popular.
Yeah, but they're not the gods.
But they're kind of more popular.
You know,
what would you rather be, the god or more popular than the god?
Well, I'm certainly more popular than the god.
Well, I think you're more popular than some Greek gods. They've all.
It could be.
Yeah, it could be. Didn't the Romans have a temple to the god in case we forgot somebody? The anonymous god. Did you ever hear that one?
Well,
Like the unknown soldier.
like the unknown soldier.
The unknown
I
God.
couldn't
Just
tell
in
you.
case we're going to have a sacrifice here to you.
But
So-
anyway, this
so
is
what year is this?
This is from 2008.
Oil paint?
Oil paint. Thick, thick, thick. This is one of my heaviest paintings.
Do you use the knife?
I don't.
No?
No.
All brush?
It's all brush.
Straight from the tube?
Well, yeah.
Little mixing?
A little bit. Yeah. But it's sort of a comic book pop iteration of mythology, which I thought was also kind of cool.
You know, Blue Oyster Cult's saying, don't fear the Reaper, and you're saying, don't fear the cartoon.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's lowbrow, I can't do it. You don't have a problem.
No. No, I feel like I have permission.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And how big is, actually I've seen this in person, I already know the answer, but
That's
for the audience. how
18
big
by
is it?
24.
18, smaller than 24 by 36.
Yeah.
You're normal.
That's
normal.
right.
This is a smaller thing. I saw this, you know what, the collector who has this has it in a really nice antique frame.
Oh, really? I got to see it.
I saw it in person.
I got to see it. I haven't seen it
Dining with the big
installed.
shots, you know? Huh?
I haven't seen it
Oh,
installed.
it's in a, you will dig it. I'm bragging now. See, insider.
Oh, see, he loved it. You
Yeah?
know,
Yeah.
he's been waiting
Those
for
big
that.
collectors.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what else you brought here, man. Okay. Now, when I first met you, this is what you were doing. This was the first stuff of yours I saw, and again, you're using this basically the bygone era of the starlit photo. What tell us what's going on here?
All right, these movie star photos were collected by my mother in the mid 40s, and these are actually the photos. And she kept them in her drawer for like 60 years. And when I came into possession of them, and she gave them to me, and I said, Mom, I'm not going to do the same thing you did. I'm not going to shove them away in a drawer. So I'm going to make some art out of them. And she said, oh yeah, sure, whatever, go ahead. And I did, and what I did was I took translucent vellum and made these skeletons on parts of it, and tore it up, and then laid it over the photograph without destroying the photograph. So these are old studio photographs of the stars that you could get if you sent away from them.
Oh yeah, and then autographed. They'll
Yeah.
probably by their secretaries, but
Well, yeah, there's the provenance I can't guarantee. So
you can guarantee the provenance signed by Mike Street.
that's
though.
right.
Hell
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. So anyway, with the collage elements, they're part of the envelopes that the studio sent her. The let's see, the postmarks are there.
Mike, you're avoiding one thing though.
What am I avoiding?
You're avoiding the fact that they're corpses.
well, you know what? There's so many layers to this.
Okay.
I was getting to it because that's
Okay,
the most
okay,
obvious
okay.
one. You know,
you're going
that's,
through this object. They
Yeah.
talk about the object hood, okay?
But
this
also-
this ain't Michael Freed and Frank Stella. We
but
can talk
also,
about.
I got to tell you, the Hollywood hillside at the time of my mother living below it read Hollywood Land because the land fell into disrepair and was removed.
It used to say Hollywood Land on
Right.
the Hollywood sign used to say Hollywood Land.
Right, and that, the land part was removed in 1949.
Okay.
So when she was collecting these photos, that's what the hillside said.
In the movie 1941, they actually crash a plane into the land.
Oh,
Did
well,
you see- you
that
remember
explains it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. Did your mother ever see what you did with her photos?
Yes, she goes, oh, that's nice.
Oh, okay, good.
You know.
As long as mom's not
Oh,
pissed.
yeah.
I don't want to, because if I have to
That's
take
nice.
sides, I usually have to side
That's
with
nice.
my guests' mothers. I have found that's the politically the best.
So that was very popular too.
So hey, what do you got going on?
The next up is a couple of shows at Beyond Baroque, one in the fall and one in February.
Solo shows?
No, both are group shows,
Oh, okay,
which
cool.
is fine. I've
Who's-
had
anybody curating?
Bob Brannaman, I believe, is curating
hey,
both of them.
He's running the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond Baroque,
Good
that's
friend.
the one you want curating.
Good friend.
Great.
Good friend.
Great.
And then let's see what else. Oh, and then I'm going to Berkeley in September 23rd at the Berkeley Arts Center. I'm part of this enormous immigrant group show called With Liberty and Justice for Some, curated by Walter Maciel and Monica Lundy.
Wow, Walter Maciel, that's great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Mike Street, always a fan, proud to be your friend. Thanks for joining us on
Thanks,
Modern
Matt.
Art Blitz.
That was a lot of fun.
Mike Street, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this.
Woo.